Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I am mine.
Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. Shoot you between the balls.
The disease. And I'm the cure.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent.
There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I am one of your hosts, Charlie. With me, as always, is Nate. Say hello to the people, Nate.
Why, hello, people.
Get up here, birthday boy.
It's my month.
It's your birthday
my
month
for birth, and I get to pick movies all month.
You also made a birthday wish that came true.
I did. I made this happen.
You made this happen, and we have been graced on the action side of the podcast. Finally, when I promised no more werewolves, Pete is on the action side. Say hello, Pete.
There's nothing wrong with werewolves. I like werewolves. I just prefer werewolves in horror movies rather than shitty action movies.
You've missed 2 werewolf movies, Pete.
This is true. That's right.
Both
the
of them had machine
last
guns,
one,
though.
the last one was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little busy tonight. I just
I'm
can't
busy.
quite make it."
No, he
So
said
sorry.
werewolf with machine guns. I'm not falling for it again.
Well,
But
I'll make an
I
exception
knew
for
how to
Wolf Cop.
get Pete in. I knew.
That's right. Yeah.
I
Well,
tease
you
him with
pulled me in.
Asia.
Nate,
With the band, Asia.
Yes.
Right. Nate's dangling
Sucker,
some bait
I
in
didn't
front of
book
my
'em.
face, and I took it.
Oh, I'm surrounded
It
by
was
suckers.
such delicious bait. Mm.
Yes, it was. Knockout
Yes.
bait.
So Nate kind of shocked us a little bit with this birthday pick. I was not expecting this one, but
Oh?
no, I was not.
Oh man, it was between this, The Protector, Hard Boiled, Unleashed,
Oh yeah, I remember.
Rumble in the Bronx. I was just going strictly nothing but,
martial arts type.
martial
Mhm.
arts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Well, you picked a banger here.
I did.
literally,
It
literally.
does not get much better than Tony Jaa for sure.
Nope, not for Ong Bak, the original man, the one that started it all.
The
Yeah,
one
that's-
where I'm just like, between this and The Protector, he has not been able to live up to these 2 films since.
Mhm.
Hollywood has really slept on him.
Hollywood didn't know what to do with him, period. And that's kind of what's happened to a lot of our actors from overseas. Is
Now, he did for a while, because Ong Bak 2 and 3 were made at the same time, I think.
Mhm.
That sounds right.
It was his first movie where he directed, and his stunt coordinator. I cannot remember that guy's name, and I'd probably butcher it if I tried.
It was his.
so
It was his sensei. It was his trainer.
Yeah,
the guy that taught him Muay Thai.
So he directed 2 and 3, but basically had a meltdown by the time 3 had came out, and
Oh,
quit making movies for a while, and actually became a monk, and just
Mhm.
like try to find some inner peace. Like I remember that all going down because Ong Bak
Wow.
2 had actually pirated and watched on an old monitor on a computer to see it because of how excited I was.
Arr.
And didn't know when it was going to come to the States. So, yeah.
it's on
I
Tubi
like
now.
I like Ong Bak too. I have that one as well.
I've never seen the third one. I know the third one's supposed to be mainly just story.
It's kind of story, but it's not great. I mean, we're talking about it. Probably as much as I love Ong Bak, Protector's probably one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
that Tony
Oh,
Jaa
no.
did.
Even as I was watching Ong Bak the other night, I was like, kind of wish I picked the Protector.
I love this movie, but I'm sitting there doing the same thing, especially when he grabs the 2 weapons that are strapped to his forearms. 'Cause
yeah.
you remember that part where he has the elephant bones.
The bones,
tied?
and he's just
Oh.
slicing everyone up.
And he's just going to town, and I was just like, I think I'm gonna have to watch The Protector now. I adore that movie. But no, yeah, we're doing Ong Bak, man. This is the kind of a more or less just a stunt driven movie. It's one of those like, I want to show what we can do.
And that's exactly what this movie is, because even on the original DVD, it has a like Tony Jaa demonstration,
Mhm.
and the video is at some sort of expo, and it's literally all the stunts that you're seeing in the movie. Him like running across everyone's shoulders and stuff like that.
God, that's so
He's
good.
doing that.
Oh yeah, this was all. There's zero wire work in this movie, zero CGI in this movie. It's all Tony Jaa. It's all his stunt team. That's what makes this movie so freaking
They
fun.
sold this as like, this is the next Jackie Chan. This is gonna be the guy that does no wire work, does his own stunts. And a lot of that was, I remember, I can't remember if I read this or a documentary I watched on the man. When they were growing up and watching the old kung fu movies, they didn't realize there was wire work involved. So what those guys were doing was just pushing their bodies further and further to try to do some of that stuff. So when you're watching some of these stunts, it's literally like that phenomenon of like what the body can do when the mind puts itself to it. And that's what I love about it, because like some of the shit that you see is just like, he should be dead.
Well, what I love is, we see all of the fantastic stuff, but because we watch enough of these movies, and thanks to Jackie Chan, we've seen enough of the outtakes at the end of most of his movies where you have to be going, oh, I bet all of the other takes sucked so bad and hurt so bad. Like they had to stop production for a month because he broke his ankle.
Oh, sure.
That
Well,
happened on here.
I think in the original Police Story, that end scene where he jumped on that
where he
chandelier,
sliced down the pole.
I'm pretty sure I read that he
severely.
He burned his hands and then he fell and hit his head real bad.
Yeah.
And they had to take him to the hospital immediately. And that was, he's almost killed himself a number of times.
Rumble in the Bronx is when Jackie Chan broke his leg.
Yeah.
Is when he jumped from the it was jumping from the building to the fire escape.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's in the movie, it's a bad fall he takes, but Tony Jaa got hurt in this one. So I mean, it's like these guys are really putting their bodies out
definitely
there.
Like when every punch, you're literally seeing contact.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
This is not like other movies where it's sly camera angles and stuff like that. Nah, everyone's getting kicked the shit out of in this movie.
Right. And I couldn't help, the first couple times I'd ever seen this movie, it's a totally new concept to me, and you're just in awe of everything. Well, now some of the movies I've seen now, and Pete, help me remember, there was a movie that came out, I want to say last year, something Samurai, and it was a one-shot movie.
Was that 1 versus 100?
I
haven't seen it, but I remember. I know
it's like about 1 versus 300 or something.
Like that, and it was Sludge would know.
That's who told us about it.
It was a 47 or 52-minute one shot.
Yeah,
and this guy just walked through his town, and
because I watched that, and then I watched like the behind the scenes. Every guy that had a hat or a weird looking wig had extra padding in there. And you could, as you watch the movie, you can go, he's going to get hit in the head. He's going to get hit in the head. That guy's going to get flipped and stabbed. I'm watching Ong Bak going, that guy's going to get in the head. That guy's going to get hit in the head. That guy's going to get flipped. And the whole time I was nailing it going, I'm on to you guys now. I know the secret.
Yeah, you really didn't see a lot of it in real time, but all the stylized slow down because they really wanted to show you how flippin' cool these moves were. But when he slowed it down, you go, oh, that guy's got some padding in his chest and he's going to get kicked now. And he does. So Jaa is not pulling any punches a lot of those times because he doesn't have to. They're padded.
They're protected and he knows where to kick.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also that's
practice,
involved to it.
Oh yeah. And that's the thing. It's not just Tony Jaa's impressive in this movie. It's the entire stunt team.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, boys, before we get too far ahead, the trailer, this is one of those that's finally bit us again. There's awesome trailers, no dialogue, and like it's so hard. But I did find something, and in my research, I found out this is also how Nate found out about this movie.
Oh,
this was a glowing recommendation. You might as well just say it's a message to Nate from one Mr. RZA.
What's up? The RZA, Wu-Tang, bong. Hey, yo, what's up, yo? It's the RZA representing the Wu-Tang Clan. I want to put y'all on to the most death-defying, bone-shattering, skull-cracking, chest-pounding, neck-cracking martial artists of all times, yo. Check out my man, Tony Jaa. The movie is called Ong Bak, #1 martial art film of this year. Hey, yo, take a look at this.
Now, let me explain something. When you are in high school and you're having this love for martial art films, and then the RZA tells you about this new up-and-comer, and that promo drops, and then it splices in between of people's heads bouncing off tables, getting kneed in the face, elbows to the face, you're going, oh my God, what the hell is this? Yeah. I have to see this movie. I remember it playing in theaters, and I did not get a chance to see it. But boys,
I think it was a limited run.
It was.
When it
was
came
a limited run.
This, I think it hit a festival for a little bit, and it got some, notice in the world. So it's like, okay, let's do a limited release on the theaters. But yeah, I watched it when it finally came out on DVD. It was the first time I saw it. And since we don't have much of a trailer and not much of anything to lead us into it, I do have the back of the DVD, Nate.
I've got the back of the DVD in my hands.
Yeah, but it's action. I get to read it.
Yeah, oh, that's true. It was my birthday.
Yeah, but damn it.
It's in my hands.
I'm the trash man.
I come out, get my DVD
I throw
read it.
trash all over
It's the wrong bit.
Oh, hold on. Damn it. Because it's Nate's birthday.
Your trash, kid.
No, that's still the wrong. That's not correct.
You thought I deleted it forever, and I didn't. I've held it till now. All right, Nate. It's your birthday. Read us.
Thank you.
Back. Don't you take that attitude with me.
I said thank you.
Boys, knock it off.
All right. Read the damn thing.
Tony Jaa, the fighting superstar destined for film's martial arts pantheon, electrifies as Ting, a religious young warrior who swears an oath of peace, but when the head of Ong Bak, his village's sacred statue, is stolen, he heads for Bangkok to recover it from a ruthless crime lord at any cost. In a film time calls exhilarating with relentless, fever-pitched action free of the stunt doubles and special effects, Jaa performs moves that would send Jackie Chan to the chiropractor. I'll tell you right now, this is a movie that the back of the DVD does not sell me on. The commercial with RZA and a bunch of faces getting kicked is what sells me on this movie. And now I have, because I keep the receipts to everything, the receipt to my copy, which I bought on December 27th, 2005.
Ooh, Christmas present to yourself.
It was. I paid with $20 cash at EB Games.
Wow.
Electronic Boutique, as it says on the back.
Wow.
For $10. And I was a Game Pro member. So it cost me $1 to sign up for that. And tax in Ohio was 5.5% back in 2005.
It's riveting podcasting right here.
Yes, right. I got $8.25 and change.
I love how he just paints a picture. Like the people feel like they're standing in line behind him as he bought Bak.
Could you hurry up?
This is what got I'm the 10% off sticker on it. I can get 10% off. I mean, we're talking about dimes on the dollar, gentlemen. Dimes. EB Games, you geniuses. How did you do this? How could you pull off these savings for the consumer?
Nate,
you'll never financially recover from this.
Nate, you don't have to pad. You don't have to pad the episode, Bubba. We got plenty to talk.
We got plenty to talk about. Yeah,
plenty to talk about.
I saw, like you, Charlie. I saw this for the first time on DVD. Well, I guess Nate too. No, you saw it in the theater.
No, I didn't. I remember it playing at the local theater and not getting a chance to go to it.
So Dave over at Good Beer Bad Movie Night, he turned me on to this and let me borrow his copy. I don't think I've given it back.
Good.
So, but he knows that I like my martial art films and the old, not even just the Bruce Lee, the Shaw Brothers stuff. It's just something near and dear to my heart. They all blend together. I couldn't tell you one from the other, but outside of maybe the Seven Golden Vampires with Peter Cushing. That's pretty bitching.
That one stands out.
That one stands out. I wonder why. Some gaijin in the film. But when Dave gave this to me, he gave it to me for sure because I'm not giving it back. It did give me a sense of awe. Like, boy, this is what martial arts films. This is what I'm looking for in a martial art film. It is stunts and just imaginative fight scenes. The chase at the beginning of the movie down the street is just one of the most creative stunt things I've ever seen. As
it's
he's
just such a cool performance to see.
And he's jumping over a freaking car.
Yeah. And then sliding underneath one, and then like
sliding
going
underneath the
in
truck
between glass panels.
He jumps through a barbed wire
ring.
wreath almost.
Wreath,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And he doesn't like what you would expect, go headfirst Superman dive.
No.
He goes arms and feet first,
Touch the toes.
touch the toes, and goes through the hole. And I'm like,
it's incredible.
Yeah, I want to see the outtakes.
Just stunning.
The
really,
images in this movie, like this was the movie that introduced me to Muay Thai. I never knew about it, being a
no one did. This
17-year-old
was the
kid.
first Muay Thai film in the West.
But look how sweet, like having the rope around your fist and like the rope around like the headband and stuff like that. Iconic imagery to me in the action movie world.
I watch Bloodsport. I watch Kickboxer. But no, that brings up a really good point, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like, "Well, we had plenty of martial artists before Tony Jaa. What made it so that much more impressive?" We had Bruce Lee, a lot of speed, a different type of fighting that he developed his own. He was a Hollywood actor. He embraced that lifestyle, and then of course with his death, it even elevated his popularity even higher. Keep fast forwarding, then all of a sudden we get the whitewashing of ninjas and a lot of stuff on the American side of cinema, especially because of canon.
Michael Dudikoff.
I don't. No. We don't speak ill of the Dudikoff. He took a role. That's it. But even as we got into the 90s, we would start to, Jackie Chan became more and more prevalent in what we were known. And he was the more, and this is not disrespectful, but it was a bit more Three Stooges almost, where
he did like slapstick, where it was fun to watch him.
Slapstick. He would make the bad guys look bad instead of like killing them. And then we got Jet Li again, who was very mysterious in the stuff he was doing and blindingly fast, just insanely fast. Now we get Tony Jaa, who is showing us these moves, not just in the running, but in his way that, for lack of a better term, I'll just say what I know it would be as like his kata, where he, is doing his movements and his practices. And then we get that very first hit he does on someone, and you're like, oh shit, this dude's got power. This guy, that whole room
stopped, and everyone went, oh
dead
shit.
silent.
Yeah.
One of the most impactful, I think, first kicks, knees, whatever you want to call it,
yes,
in a film, where it's just like, oh, holy shit.
The audience was preparing for, okay, let's go. Let's see what this guy's got. And bam, done.
Yeah.
And everyone was there, just shock and I don't
completely
think horror, but
not horror, but shock and awe. I mean, that's
that's the word. Yeah.
And because then also, like, what's I absolutely love is like every time Tony Jaa is about to like punch someone or he stops someone, his arms are like cock and loaded back. Oh, it's like he is loading the gun every time as he goes towards the next person,
And that's probably partly to Muay Thai. It's the nine deaths or 9 hands or something like that is what it translates. It's on here somewhere. Hold on. The 9 body weapons.
Oh, okay.
So each part of the body is a weapon. He stops a punch with his head. Not like he doesn't headbutt. They punch at him and he uses his head like whipping it and deflects the punch with his head. And I pointed out to Jackie while I was doing it. I was like, who does that? Like, Tony Jaa. It was just insane. But yeah, so there's a lot going on. I'm going to tell you guys, I don't know how I have this. I don't know where it ever came from. The beginning of this movie gives me the heebie-jeebies. And when I say that is when, if I watch like those fails on YouTube, where people are skating and crash out.
Oh, yeah,
I
yep.
get
Because
that
you realize if you do that now, your knees are done for.
Well, it's not just that. I physically get like this electric shock through my body that I almost can't watch them. I'm watching these assholes run up this tree and knock each other down. Even though I know there's some type of padding, I know a lot of people are getting the air knocked out of them, and I'm wincing the entire time watching them fight each other as they go up this tree.
It's such a great opening to a movie of just like,
here's
like 30 dudes climbing a tree, and they're all knocking each other off, and
they're
like
playing King of the Hill on a giant tree,
and like they're falling like 20 feet in the impact, and like the way that's what I adore about the camera work in this movie. It doesn't shy away. It doesn't turn the camera away. It's like, oh no, that guy fell off a tree. Don't worry. We have a camera unit set down on the ground so you can see his entire back bounce 10 feet off the ground once he lands.
Yeah, there's like literally one shot from, I think it's probably the furthest fall from one of the guys.
Yeah.
That the camera's almost buried because they had to put more padding on the dirt and then cover it with leaves. Sure. And they put it down so it looks like from ground level. And I mean, that dude still hits with some impact.
Yeah, because no matter what, like you're going to be like, I can't breathe.
Yeah.
I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Those guys weren't climbing back up the tree to be the next guy that falls down. They're like, nope, I'm done.
No,
I'm not doing it again.
Once it's done. That's just that whole King of the Tree is like that whole competition. It seems like, well, it's a really bad idea like a 20-year-old would make. Like, oh, I'm 20 years old.
Most of them were 20.
I'm pretty sure I can do this. And as a former 21-year-old myself, I think I would have done it. Probably. But I would definitely have been the first one to fall out of the tree.
Yeah, I would
probably on my own dumbass mistake. Not that anybody threw me out of the tree, but I'm pretty sure I would have slipped and fell right on my ass.
I would have been the guy that ran up, grabbed the first branch, and then went, "Oh no, I fell!" and just fall backwards.
You're tall enough to get to the top of the tree in one fell swoop.
Yeah, but I could grab the first branch real easy too and go,
true.
"Whoops!"
Oops. See, I would do like Homer Simpson when he tried to climb the mountain, and he had like 8 different canisters of oxygen, but he'd only climbed like 2 feet up. That'd be me.
Didn't the Sherpas take him the rest of the way up the mountain?
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what it was. There's
like when
Nate.
He was sleeping at night. He'd bring him up the mountain.
He'd wake up refreshed. Let's keep going, men. And they're trying to sleep.
Exhausted.
Let's leave the fat man on the mountain. No one will suspect a thing. No, but I don't know how we get in the Simpsons.
They'll find him next spring.
It's your birthday,
My
Nate.
birthday.
We can talk about the Simpsons if you want.
It's hard to believe this movie is almost 20 years old.
Yeah, right?
Like, it is so crazy to me to know, like, damn, it's been that long.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, this is like 2003. There's a lot of stuff that listed as 2005, and I think there's some from when it was actually created and made till it got like an actual release over here. There's some different. When did you get the DVD, Nate? 05? Is that what you said?
Yeah, 2005, and that might have been the States release of it.
I think that's the States release of it.
Yeah.
I just don't remember if I rented it or if it was one of those I finally just bought it just to have it, like, and finally see it. Now, what I do remember is when The Protector came out 2 years later, because of how much of a hit this one was, it was one of those movies that Quentin Tarantino did The Presents.
Yep.
So, like, he gets like an executive producer role. Just basically, it's his way of getting it to the States faster.
Yeah.
And
I watched The Protector in theater.
Nice.
Because of Ong Bak.
Did you?
Nice. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, again, it was I saw that and the Quentin Tarantino thing. You know, he was a huge.
He did the same thing for Iron Monkey when it did its re-release to finally come to the States.
Yep.
The DVD I have has like the international cut, which I don't remember. So now, like, I really need to pop that in at some point this weekend.
Iron Monkey was Chow Yun-fat, right? Is it Chow Yun-fat?
He was in.
I have to look that up. I can't remember.
I know he was Tiger, right?
Crouching Tiger.
Yeah, he was in Crouching Tiger.
I just remember Iron Monkey was like that movie that came out in '92, but when Tarantino did The Presents, that's when it kind of came to.
Which one of those dumb movies had Stifler in it? Was that Iron Monkey?
Oh no, you're thinking Bulletproof Monk.
Thank you. That's it. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
the one
Yes.
with
I was
Stifler.
thinking Iron Monkey's like, I don't like that one because Stifler's
No,
in
no.
it. And-
Iron
No,
Monkey's
no,
the good
that
one.
Iron Monkey was the good one, right?
Yeah.
Donnie
You ever
Yen.
seen Monkey King?
I don't think I've seen Monkey King.
You want to
Yeah,
you
with
want to talk about
Jackie
some
Chan?
weird wire food? Yeah, I no.
Yeah.
No, the Forbidden Kingdom has the Monkey King as Jet
Oh,
Li.
that's what I
Yes.
was thinking. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
There's like
Jet Li and Jackie Chan finally had
there are
their
like
first
2
on-screen
Monkey
fight.
King movies that are like 2.5 hours long each, and it's rough to get through because it's 2.5 hours. Oh my lord.
Iron Monkey was Donnie Yen.
Donnie
Donnie
Yen.
Yen.
Okay.
Thank you.
Donnie
Thank
Yen.
you.
Yep.
And that was Ip Man, wasn't it? That Donnie Yen was Ip.
Yep, he was
Donnie
Ip
Yen
Man.
was Ip,
Okay,
Ip
yeah.
Man. Yeah, Bruce Lee's teacher. So, yeah, I mean, these movies had an impact, man. They kind of shifted the genre a bit now. You
Oh,
know,
I loved looking at Walmart back in the day to find the Dragon Dynasty films.
Mhm.
You know, that was the publisher that was putting these out.
Oh, okay.
And I don't have many. I've got, I think, just Police Story, Protector, and Hardboiled.
Police Story is worth every penny, man.
Yeah. And there's been a recent re-release of like the first 3. I've been really wanting to get that.
Yeah.
I'll spend some money on that.
Yeah.
This was also probably the time when, because before I was never, I watched martial arts movies, but it was never like my big thing. I preferred the run and gun movies and stuff like that.
Just the opposite.
Yeah, and that's why
That's
Pete
okay.
was like,
You
I'm
like what you
never
like.
gonna-
This is what I like
I'm
about
not
this.
coming on the action side, Charlie. I don't want to watch someone blowing up 27 human
But
beings.
you see somebody kicking the shit out of everyone. I'm on board.
Yeah. Oh, he did it with his feet. I'm in.
Yeah, that's much better.
But I was gonna say it's about the time of the Jet Lis and now the Tony Jaa's when I was like, I need to start paying more attention to this genre, and I really got into it. I mean, and this easily could have gotten lost among things. I think around this same time we even got like Black Mask, which was Jet Li.
That was Jet Li.
Which is basically Kato the movie.
Yeah,
yeah,
basically.
It
Sure.
really was.
When did Drunken Master come out? I came out about this time, didn't it?
No, Drunken Master came out earlier because I remember renting that
the
at
90s?
Blockbuster like
Oh.
some point in the 90s as a kid. And that was like one of the first movies where I actually noticed dubbing and didn't understand what was going on. Like it was
okay.
that just becoming old enough as a teenager going, wait, why is the audio not linking up to
Right, sure.
the video? And I didn't understand that.
So
and
you
what
have
was
the
going on.
original Drunken Master was
That's like 73.
1978.
8. Okay, yeah, sure.
The Legend of Drunken Master was 1994. That's right around Rumble in the Bronx.
94. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I
all right.
feel like that was one of those that got a re-release because I definitely remember renting that one in the later 90s as a kid. Like
Yeah, Rumble in the
maybe it would
Bronx
have been early
was
2000s. Like I definitely
1995.
remember that getting like a DVD like re-release or something. Maybe that was it. It was, remember when movies were coming to DVD for the first time, so they'd kind of get this
Sure.
resurgence of like
Mhm.
now available on a 2-disc platform or something like that.
2-disc DVDs. That had to be one hell of a movie, or you got multiple cuts of the same.
Well, it's just you
movie.
got multiple cuts and special features
Yeah.
and stuff because it was a
Uh-huh.
totally different ballpark now to
We
repackage
didn't
and
get
sell it to
special
you again.
features. We got commentaries, man. That's all we ever got in the early 2000s was some practical effect guy sitting back. Yep, we did that one. Oh, wait, here we go. And we did that too. Yeah. Dave shined a light really bright right there, and we edited it to make it look good.
I'm telling
That's
you,
how
nothing
some
is
of those
better than
commentaries were.
Arnold Schwarzenegger commentary is probably the greatest stuff ever because it's like
Was it?
him just enjoying the movie.
Yeah. He'll forget to tell you stuff about the movie. He'll be like, "Oh, hold on, this part coming up. You're gonna love this. That's my favorite part."
You need to look up like Arnold Schwarzenegger commentary on YouTube. It's incredible.
I totally will.
He doesn't understand how commentary works. It's amazing.
He doesn't.
I kind of love that.
Well, speaking of action stars that don't understand how things work, Pete found out a nice
Yes,
little
he did.
tidbit of information about Ong Bak. Why don't you regale us with what you found out, Pete?
Yeah, so I don't know where I dug this up. You do some research and apparently as they were shopping, as Tony Jaa and was shopping this around, I think he brought it to some festivals and
Yeah, it was in festivals.
Luc Besson picked it up. I think the Frenchman.
That's who they wanted to pick it up too.
Euro Cores or something like that. Is that his production? Anyway, they eventually picked it up, but he got a little nibble from Steven Seagal and his whatever his production company is.
Whatever, I don't even know.
Whatever it is, I don't know. But the
My company's
So-
called
right,
Seagal.
right. Seagal wanted
Films.
to bring it over, but if Seagal was going to bring it over, he's going to re-edit it, and Seagal was going to become Tony Jaa's sensei.
He was gonna add scenes.
He was going to add scenes like they did to the original Godzilla. Like, oh,
Yeah.
oh Tony,
And
do
he
it
was
this
gonna
way.
be teaching Tony
Hey,
Jaa.
I'm teaching
Hey,
you how to
Tony
do
Jaa.
it.
Thai.
You're gonna put your fist here, and I'm
Oh
gonna
my
put my
gosh.
hand here,
Oh,
and then you're gonna flip.
I read that and I lost my shit. I was laughing so hard. I messaged both of you about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got the
And I'm like,
message.
I'm pretty sure that conversation started and ended with Tony Jaa going, no,
No,
and
he
middle
went,
finger and walking away.
who?
Yeah.
Who
that's
are
exactly-
you?
Who?
Who?
Shut up, Fatso. I'm making a movie here.
Hey,
Oh
like,
man,
what?
that,
no way. I'm gonna show you how my knee it goes up.
let me show you how to eat fried chicken.
Why is Hard to Kill trying to get his name in my movie? That's all there is. I just love
Oh,
how he
man.
wants to add
What
scenes.
if we call it Ong Bak, the Seagal warrior?
No, it has to have 3, so it'd be
Oh.
like
Okay, so we'll call it like the Seagal warrior.
the
So,
Seagal.
that's three. That's three. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna do the protector. How about Seagal protects himself?
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't have it anymore, Steven.
We'll
You don't have it. You don't
superimpose
have it
myself.
Even back
Ask
then,
Tony
he didn't
Jaa.
have it. I mean, that's so disrespectful.
Hey, I'm in a movie called Nico.
Nate.
He said superimpose, and all I can imagine is Seagal trying to pitch it, and he'd had a little cutout of himself, and he would
Yeah,
put it
it's
on
like a
the
little blurry.
screen. He'd have it. No, they're playing it on the TV screen, and he's holding it up, and he's South Parking it, trying to pitch it to Tony Jaa.
Oh, and if you could South Park his mouth moving up and down.
Yeah,
I didn't
but
say it.
it's like the
"Oh, oh,
Canadians
oh, oh."
in
right,
South
they call it
Park.
the Canadian.
Don't worry, Master. I'm gonna get that head back.
He thought he was going to be able to be recast. He's like, we can Americanize it. You did great, but I'm going to be you now. No, please
Eric,
no.
that totally tells you who this person is. Steven Seagal. He's such a prick.
He is, but God, I can't help it. I love watching his old movies. I don't
Just
care.
That kind of story just makes me want to. Oh, you're just a foul individual.
He's a garbage person, man. But
Garbage.
I'm gonna watch Mark for Death all the time. I
Sure,
don't
yeah,
care. I'm gonna, now there's 2 garbage people apparently in Under Siege, and I'm still gonna watch it. I can't help it.
Hey, you like what you like, man. I'm not going to tell you
I'm
not to
sorry.
like.
Yep. You know what? Gary Busey did lose his mind. So.
I know. I hope he gets the help he needs, man. I'm hoping.
Oh
that-
yeah. Everyone should always get the help they need.
I'm sure no
Always.
one's lying about anything, but man, I kind of hope it was blown out of proportion or something, or I really hope he is losing his mind, because I know it's no excuse, but at least I'd be like, okay, he's really gone now.
Like he
You
just
know,
has
Busey?
dementia. So.
Well, that motorcycle accident was legit. I mean,
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
Busey
Oh,
should have died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By all means.
That's
And
why there's such a shift in his acting.
that brain
was-
scrambled him good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it messed
He
him
got
up
the
for
brain
the rest of
scramble.
his
You know
life.
who else got their brains scrambled? Every person that got kicked in this movie.
No kidding.
Oh my god, dude!
These were legit. Oh, it's
It's hard to talk about this movie without the visuals, you know? That was the thing when I was watching this the other night. I was like, well, I mean, that guy gets kneed, that guy gets elbowed, that guy gets double elbowed, that guy gets double kneed. This is cool.
Well, it's like his first like ring fight, the pub where they have the barroom fights. That's the dude he knees and the guy's down. Boom, done. Give me my money back. The piece of shit villager friend of his. Good God, man! I've
But
still
him
never
and Tony
liked
Jaa
him.
must be like really good friends because that
They
dude is
have
in
to
all of
be.
his movies.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
God, I
And like
hated
even
that
there's movies
character
where
in
that guy's
this.
like the headline star and
Yeah.
Tony Jaa will have like a cameo in. So it's like there's
kidding.
clearly a really good relationship there.
Did you guys watch-
You got your people you trust, so
Yeah.
you're
I'll
always
give you
recast-
that.
Everyone does that. Tarantino does that.
Plus, we were just talking about him, but Schwarzenegger, where he's got
Sure.
Thorson. He's
Yes.
in every movie because that's his guy. I was going to ask you guys, what did you guys all watch this on Tubi? Was it dubbed when you watched
Tubi
it?
had two cuts. They had
I couldn't
dubbed
find
and
the other
undubbed.
cut. I watched
that?
the dubbed, man.
You
and
wa- I watched the
really
dub too
regret-
because
Yeah,
I was
watched
doing
it
things
on
and
Hulu, which just had it in
oh, it's on Hulu.
yeah, it had it in its native language.
Now the dub was the voices.
The dub's
on
pretty laughable.
It is.
I've
but
watched both before.
I watched the dub with the subtitles, and I don't know if the subtitles are.
the script.
I'll have to go back and watch the Thai version to see if the subtitles are different.
See, I want to watch it.
Pretty
in their
much
native
the
language.
subtitles and the dub lined up almost 100%. There were a couple of curse words taken out here and there,
Tubi does
and
that
I
for
don't
some
think it was on
reason. I don't
purpose.
know.
But sometimes when you watch a subtitle version, it doesn't match the dub. Like a lot of my Godzilla movies, the dub and the sub don't match up. And I
Well, it's two
always
different
watch
tracks for some
yeah,
reason.
well, and the two different companies doing
Yeah.
the translations. And I always watch with subtitles because I'm old and my ears don't always hear everything.
I get it.
Well, now I've kind of gotten used to with the subtitles, but man, I was really regretting watching the dubbed version because I felt like I was watching the dubbed version of like Kung Fu Hustle. And it's like, why these voice actors? Why those particular voice actors?
It gives me hope that one day I can dub a movie though. Like
If
I want that job.
If John Lovitz isn't dubbing movies now, you have no hope.
I have a chance. I'll dub Rat Race.
It stinks.
All right.
It
All
stinks.
Rat Race.
Not this movie though.
But no, I meant to ask you guys about that earlier because I still love watching this, but you definitely don't watch this movie for A, the story, and B, the dialogue.
No,
you
the
watch
story
this
is
movie
just
for the
there
action.
to get to the action. Like it is
Yeah.
literally like his village's, deity's head statue
Buddha.
has been stolen.
The Ong Bak.
And the Ong Bak. And now he goes to the town. He doesn't want to fight. He's already sworn off fighting after he's mastered Muay Thai.
I have a question.
Which cracked me up.
I have a question.
Yep.
So they really go out of their way when he's doing his moves,
Demonstration?
his demonstration,
Uh-huh.
and the elder monk comes up to him and he's like, you have mastered everything about Muay Thai. Now you must never use it.
Yeah.
Ever.
Don't
And
ever, no, not
Yeah.
once. Don't even
Not
think
even
about
once.
using it. Don't have dreams about
His-
using it.
his uncle is like, you better listen to him while I drink the whole time I'm in
Right.
this movie. And not 5 minutes later, who will take upon this quest to retrieve the head? Ting shall go. And not like, don't kick anyone's ass though. No, it was, yep, you go kick ass. And I'm like, wow, we just really flipped it right there, huh? None of this. They even gave us a story of why is the elder monk against it? Well, because when he mastered it, he was put into a position where he had to use it and killed someone with the ability and has sworn off ever using it, against someone. And I'm like, cool. So the movie's over now, right? Because otherwise there's nothing else to watch this movie about. Nah, they just go, yeah, you can go ahead and fight now. I was like,
They don't
He
pull it
is
off.
resistant. He doesn't want to fight, and like when he gets into that first fight and he wins the money, he's like, I don't want this money. I want my money.
I want what's
that
owed to me. what
his
was stolen
cousin
from
Hum
me.
Lee had stolen from him and betted on
yeah,
the fight.
they're holding the little handkerchief that has the villager's money for his journey. Even though I'm sure his winnings was like probably 5 times that amount.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
but that's
easily.
not what it was about. He
That
just
was the
wanted
principle
his money
of the
back.
matter.
Yes. And then like the second fight, which I got a lot of like Roadhouse vibes because of how it went up the stairs, like they go through the glass, like
Yeah.
it was
Is that the
just
second
nonstop.
fight?
I think
The
that's
one
the
where he's
third
like
fight.
fighting like
The
or is it
third
the third
fight.
fight?
The
Yeah,
guy
he
just
fighting,
came
like,
in and
fake Scott
Mad
Atkins.
Dog or whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he fights. Actually, that's fourth fight. So he
Oh.
fights Big Bear, the
Yeah,
dude
the
about my size, Captain Rapey,
Captain Rapey. Yeah,
and
Yes.
then
yeah,
the
then there's-
guy with the bad hair,
you the cushiony hair.
the cushiony hair guy comes running out with. But I did like how Big Bear was power. So all of a sudden, Tony Jaa's ability to stop someone basically with a punch or a knee or something wasn't working against Big Bear. And he really had to fight and use he had to use technique. And then, okay, he beat the unbeatable big guy. Now we got the guy that has speed on his side, kind of the Bruce Lee kind of feel to him. Moving his feet, always moving, never knowing where he's
as that guy's getting his ass kicked, he's even in shock. Like, how's he so quick?
Yeah.
I'm the fast one around this part.
Well, and he kind of gets him a couple times with the speed where Tony Jaa's even kind of like, oh, okay, hold on. And he adapts. Then we get the Mad Dog. So we have progressed from barroom fighter to skilled fighter to chaos fighter. Kind of like
the brute bouncer, basically.
Yeah. Kind of like going through Bloodsport where you had all the different styles of fighting. We got to watch.
Yeah.
This was kind of like their little throw at, let's just see how versatile Muay Thai is how it can adapt to different styles and different fighting situations. And, like even the one that gave him the biggest run was Mad Dog, because it wasn't a style. It was straight up barroom fight. Like Nate said, that was the Roadhouse fight for the most part.
As they're going on and just like, it just keeps up in the ante, They're smashing plates, they're smashing tables, they're smashing chairs. Then at one point, like one of the neon signs.
Neon signs, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he starts kicking through the chairs and through the tables and using the surroundings. Also, this is all close quarter, which is amazing whenever they do fights like this. It's entertaining. Never in any of these fights in this movie am I ever bored.
No, like this movie takes a while to build up, admittedly. Like you get the really awesome tree scene, and then it kind of gives you, your story to get to.
You got to start the hero journey.
You got to get to Bangkok.
Yep. You got to get to, the country kid coming to the city for the first time,
That's it.
And then once it does get to that, it is just nonstop fight set after fight set, and even like his actual Muay Thai like rope fight. And how badass that whole scene turns out.
Yeah, that one's. I'll tell you what. Before we
that's
jump
the one he
into
lost,
one,
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Before we jump into that, let's hit a commercial.
Yeah.
And then we'll jump into after the barroom fight. Then, so let's do that. All right, guys.
The Transformers will return after these messages.
Just how drunk are we gonna get?
Welcome to Good Beer, Bad Movie Night, where each month we drink finely crafted brews while watching terrible films in order to see just how drunk you have to get to enjoy them. So tune in and join Troy.
Kilmore Kreitz.
Oh, that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Dave.
I have the weirdest boner.
And Pete.
IPAs are ales, meaning they are bottom fermented. Excuse me, they are top fermented. I that up. Try that again.
As we drag Kathleen, kicking and screaming through an alcohol-fueled podcast dedicated to movies of questionable quality and the frosty adult beverages that help make them tolerable. Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. Clearly, it's the beer's fault.
Introducing Leatherhead, the evil Cajun gator. Leatherhead, these are your targets, the friends of the Ninja Turtles. Yusaki Yojimbo, the samurai rabbit. Casey Jones, the sports warrior. And Metalhead, the robotic turtle vending machine. Destroy them!
Whoa, better watch the old blood pressure, Shredhead.
Now you can get a pop-up display stand inside specially marked packages of turtle figures. Great for displaying turtles when they're not eating pizza. From Playmates.
Do you like horror movies?
Do you like hanging out with your buddy?
Do you like cracking jokes and having a good time?
Do you just like fun?
Well, consider checking out Spoils of Horror. We are an hour-long podcast that comes out every single week.
We're not doing reviews. We're just going to hang out, talk about the movies we love with each other, and hopefully the ones you love too.
Covering everything from the popular, the lost, the forgotten, and the bizarre.
If you're looking for a good podcast and a good time, you're going to want to check us out.
We're on all major podcasting platforms, and you can find us on Instagram and Twitter.
Check it out. We'll see you there.
We now return to the Transformers.
If I didn't get that played, we were going to blow right past our time slot. So I was like, well, I think now's a good point. Because before we get to Nate's rope fight, and I think this happens before the big fight there, or is it after? You guys can correct it.
That's one of the last big fights because it's where
it's what leads into the
his
climax.
Opponent takes some amphetamines or something.
The drugs. So,
right.
but there's a point in this movie that is probably my favorite part of the entire movie, even above the fights, just because I have so much fun with this. It's the 3-wheel car chase in the middle of this movie.
This is, yes.
Oh my God. I love this entire, and it keeps going. It's not like a real, like quickly shot thing. It goes on for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it puts James Bond car chases to shame.
It does.
There's shots that I swear are James Bond shots.
Or like from Diamonds Are Forever or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Pierce Brosnan. Yeah.
That
was
that's Sean Connery.
Sean Connery. But you know that they are emulating so much of the stuff they obviously they are. I mean, it's a lot of.
That's what I love about this movie is like so much of this movie feels like, holy shit, we're fortunate enough to make this. Let's just pay tribute to everything we love.
Yeah. So in the car chase though, there's 2 little Easter eggs, and they go through a tunnel, and there is spray painted graffiti, and there's one of 2. There's one that says Spielberg, call us, and the other is and his name just left me. We just talked about him. Freaking Fifth Element director.
Luc Besson.
Luc Besson. There is a graffiti too about "Notice Us, Luc Besson" or something like that. So he was their goal in making this movie. I know he picked them up, but that was their intention. But dude, I love this car chase. It's the slowest, funnest car chase imaginable. They literally tear the top off of one, they flip them all, and they go to the end of this thing and literally go, F it. One gets hooked by a crane, lifted in the air as the others dogpile, cars, not people, dogpile underneath it, and then it all inexplicably explodes in a giant fireball as Ting and the heroes drive away.
In a beautiful
because they had to make sure they get an explosion in this.
There had to be, and I am ear to ear grinning watching this the other night because it's been a while since I've sat down and watched Ong Bak again, and I like Nate and everybody, I'm sure you start realizing like, shit, I should have watched Protector. I feel like Protector is the better entry. And then you go, oh, I forgot about this, and this is fantastic. And that car chase,
the
had
great
me
scene
excited
where they hit where the bridge is out.
Yes.
And then you get to see an actual stunt of, like a guy having to get off of it before it falls down. And once again, because the camera is always placed at the right spot, that way you can see the entire movement of him getting out of this thing before it falls down onto the ground.
The front seat, into the back seat, off to the side, on top of the other, and then swings in as the other one's falling off.
And the whole time, like, please do this. Please get in here, because if not, you're going to die.
And all that is after, like, 4 or 5 have fallen off of the bridge because they couldn't stop in time, and they kept slamming into each other, and there's just all these wreck. None of them explode at this point, so you're not expecting an explosion. They're just laying at the bottom of the bridge, broken, and then this giant fireball of these little 3-wheeler.
There is one thing that also, why was there a spy game poster in this movie?
I think it's just an homage. I really do.
So Don's the guy from Ting's village that steals the head.
Was he from the village?
From what I gather, because everyone knew who he was. So I took it he came from the village and then left and then became a city guy.
Okay. That's what I gathered a little bit more sense. That character confused
his
the hell out of
apartment,
me.
He's got this giant spy game poster of Robert Redford.
Yep.
And that camera seems to just guide its way towards the poster.
Oh, it's completely on it. And
Spy Game's not a good movie. It's not entertaining either.
But Robert Redford, I can get lost in that man's eyes.
Robert Redford's awesome, man. I like Robert Redford. That also brings up one of the oddest scenes in this movie is when Dawn shoves all that cocaine in that girl's face. And
that
she
was so gross.
basically,
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was terribly gross.
ODs.
ODs, yeah.
No, they call it like she goes to the
They
hospital.
do, but she's actively overdosing.
She's actively, but again,
It's
we're
just
gonna
that
get
gross
there
thing
in
of
a
like we
little
need to
bit.
show how evil he is.
Yeah, but he's not. He's really not.
No,
that
he's
was
just
the
a
most
piece of
evil
shit.
thing he
Like,
did.
He's just
Yeah.
He's nothing.
Pretty evil. I mean, that's a pretty evil thing to do.
That in evil towards women, I guess we can say it that way. But as far as any other situation, he's running from everyone.
It was from everything that he has done previous. That was out of character.
He is an
that's
entry-level
what I mean.
thug
Yes.
that's trying to prove
I'm
himself.
on board, Charlie. Yeah,
because he got reprimanded by the big boss guy because all he brought was a stone head. It's not even a gem. It's nothing.
No, it's not like it's a Sankara stone or something.
Right, but here's okay. The story makes no sense, but I have to talk about this. So the whole movie is about him going to get the head of the statue from the village, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Then Dawn gets in trouble, and since we're talking about it, that's why I'm bringing this up.
Sure.
From the big boss guy going, "This is just worthless stone. Why you bring this to me?" I'm not being racist by saying it like that. That's how the dubbed person talks.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm being accurate whenever I'm saying this. So all this happens. Then during this big chase thing with Ting, he lands in the water and sees 20 or 30 Buddha statue pieces floating in the water that this guy has been stealing and importing. And I'm like, well, if I was Dawn, I would have grabbed the head too, because apparently that's your kink, brother.
Yeah, like, this is what you're getting money for. So basically what it is that guy's just like secretly going, oh, cool, I got a new one.
Right.
I gotta play it cool. I gotta play it cool. Like, yeah, this thing sucks. Like, I definitely don't want this. Man, why would you?
Poker face.
Yeah. Why would you get that for me? It's like,
nothing like a little Buddha head.
Oh, Pete, don't jerk off on the floors.
We haven't gotten to that yet.
We're way past that scene.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked about it yet.
I brought it up. There you go, bud.
We don't.
I opened the door. Come on in. The water's
Just
fine.
be careful with the floors.
That was that was a spit take.
I got shampoo, and if you want to brush your teeth, my toothbrush is right there.
I don't know what made me more grossed out was that he offered toothpaste to him when he didn't bring his own toothbrush, which means you got to use his toothbrush, or if he asked him kindly not to jerk off on the floor.
Yeah, it was,
which is just rude.
It's very rude to just assume that's what I'm going to do.
That's what a spanket blanket is for. You don't jerk off on someone's floor because they have a spanket blanket.
Yeah, you hope they do.
And after a long night of drinking, you wake up at your buddy's house. You use the toothpaste in your finger, and try to do the best you can. We've all been there.
Sure, Nate.
Wow.
At least
Nate,
I have been
Nate,
there.
You've lived a hell of a life, Nate.
that was after puking at the Taco Bell, wasn't it, Nate?
I have puked in many places.
I can't be expected to remember them all, damn it.
Yeah,
Nate, you and I need to go out drinking one of these nights.
I've lived a checkered life, man.
We need to make like an impact peak on Columbus.
All right, now we got all that out of the way. This is how bad we
now we're up to the rope fight.
We would
rope
be
fight, okay.
terrible
Fast forward to the rope
commentators for
fight.
DVDs. I'm just putting that out there right now. Hey, remember that one part we just saw like 34 minutes ago? We should really talk about that.
Now we should talk about that part.
Now.
You're jumping all around. I can't keep up.
If anyone is an independent filmmaker and wants us to do commentary for your movie, make that a Kickstarter.
Hey, get your movie commentated by the Give Me Back My Action and Horror Movie guys.
Okay, so the Give Me Back My Action and Horror Movies are going to do your commentary unless you raise this much money.
Yes.
Then we won't do it for you. So
that's right. You have to pay.
So you
us
better
not
make sure you
not
hit
to
this
do it
perk.
because we're going to release it on YouTube, or worse, we're going to find a way to stick it on your DVDs.
We'll just go to all the conventions, swap all of them out real quick. All on our dime. We're not stealing.
Yeah, we're spending all the money on it.
We're still giving you the money in the DVDs. You still profit. We're just going to put our names on there. That brings up something funny I've noticed when I do my research. I don't know why I've wanted to talk about this. So when I look up trivia on IMDb, there's been a handful that go, I won't name it, but the such and such podcast rated this movie 5 stars. This such and such podcast rated this movie 2 stars. Don't watch. I'm like, someone created an account and used it to
Reference
promote
their own
podcast in IMDb
We
trivia.
could do that.
Same
You
podcast?
can,
Oh,
apparently.
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, you can. IMDb is like Wikipedia. You can just add whatever you want to it.
What I'll do is I'll
Dang.
give it the star rating of what I'm going to give the movie today, and then the comment will just be the link to the podcast because I don't want to type out everything. Or
It's too much time.
I find a program that takes all of our audio and puts it into a transcript,
Oh, jeez.
and
Holy
then I
crap.
take a 2-hour transcript and throw it into Word.
I don't
I
even want to.
kind of want to read. I kind of want to read that transcript.
You guys realize the program we use does transcription, right? I have
Oh my
transcription
God.
to every episode.
We can have scripts.
I think we need to transcript the Hellraiser so I can see
Yep.
David Bowie junk
David-
in print.
David Bowie,
How
yeah.
many times it shows up, and then when we start to do more con appearances, we print off these transcripts and we sign them.
and
Yeah,
hand 'em out.
you're getting
That's
an
like our
official
set
give me
list.
back script.
It's
Here's
like our
episode 6
set
and we'll
list
sign
that we give
episode
out like
6 and-
bands do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We give out transcripts of our episode. I'm sorry, I took us off, but Nate brought that up, and I was like, "This is a perfect time to bring it up because it's happened more than a handful of times already." But no, now we're getting into the Muay Thai fight, the in the ring, tying the hands, and dude gets jacked like Universal Soldier whenever he puts that serum into his chest.
Whatever that serum is, which he knew he was going to get his ass kicked by Tony Jaa, so he had to cheat.
Yep. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
So as you're watching this, till what, 5 minutes later after it, we now realize Tony Jaa threw the fight.
Yeah.
It was never explained to the audience that he was supposed to lose. So you're like, wow, this other dude's a badass.
Yeah, this
Holy
other dude, because
crap.
he's taking the kicks, he's taking punches to the throat, basically.
Yeah. But then you find out Tony Jaa was pulling the punches the whole time, pulling all the kicks, and purposely lost so he would get the head back. So yeah, and again, because I hadn't watched this movie in forever, I'm sitting there going, does he lose? Wait a minute. I don't remember this part.
Yeah, I
And
was kind of the same way. I was like, I don't remember him getting his ass kicked this
He
badly.
lost.
he
Quotation
loses
marks.
bad, and
Yeah.
then it's revealed, well, you threw the fight. You did exactly what I wanted you to. Da-da-da-da-da. Here's the head back. Here's all this back. Empty box. So I think Nate's on to something. The guy really did want the head.
Yeah,
But he just
the
had
whole
to act
time.
like he didn't really want it.
'Cause
And then
he's
they're
like
going to kill him
embarrassed
all.
by his collection. Because, in 2005, it's still not quite cool to have action figures. But if it becomes 2016, now it's cool.
Now it's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Totally went, how do you collect head? But anyway, he has very
Notches on a bedpost. I don't know.
inquisical face. Damn it, Pete. The notches on the bedpost. That's why you have the bed axe.
Oh Lord, you have a bed axe?
To make
Spice
the
things up
notches.
tonight, baby.
Happy birthday, Nate. So
I always
he
wanted to role play as Conan.
Oh God,
I like a bed club better.
the
That's
bed
a
club.
little more accurate than an axe.
Oh, we got. All right, so he throws the fight. They take him out in the middle of nowhere for this really long ass convoluted scheme to shoot him in the head. Once again, just shoot him in the head and be done with it. No, I must give you some money. I'm going to act like I give you the head. Then,
I have
oh
a gun
surprise!
in my bedroom. I will shoot him now.
Exactly. He's the Scott.
Right now. I
We'll
will
do
shoot
it
him.
together. We'll do it. It'll be a father-son kind of thing. Just boom. That's all we got to do. But no, this guy does this whole like, fooled you. There's no head in the box. Da, 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 da. Hey guys, shoot him for me. And
But I'm going to
beelines
exit.
out of there.
I'm going to go out, and then you shoot them. But make it quiet.
Yeah, be quiet. I told those guys to be quiet. Oh, let me
Don't worry.
slowly
They're going to
put-
handle everything.
Let me slowly put the silencer on my gun. How did he take advantage of that? I have no idea.
Well, that's okay because like how almost no one dies in this movie. That means that guy eventually wakes up from his concussion. And it's like, oh, I messed up.
He splits that motorcycle guy's helmet in half, though.
Oh,
I
it's so
still
cool.
was so impressed with
So
that
cool.
that fight because he just comes in. Is it I think he drops an elbow, and he drops that elbow down, and of course the motorcycle helmet split. But when it splits,
Right.
the visor stayed on the dude's face, so he looked like he had Oakleys on.
I'm just being really cool.
Split that
Now,
stupid helmet.
This whole like setup has one of my favorite scenes of they start to shoot at Tony Jaa and he flips over some stuff and his feet lands in like gas or oil.
Yeah.
And then an
Oh my
explosion
God.
happens and his feet are on fire and then he starts to kick people's ass.
Legs are on fire and he's kicking people with fire.
He does like
legs.
a
It's
double
amazing.
spin kick or something like that to a man's
Yeah.
head while he's on fire. And it's just, and then he like does a flip into water to get it off. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so awesome. And then
And
like
that's
it
all
gives him
Tony
this,
Jaa, baby.
it gives him this
all Tony
tethered
Jaa.
look
There's no
for the
stunt.
rest
Tony
of the
Jaa was
finale.
on
That
fire.
son of a bitch put himself on fire. Oh
it
my
was,
God.
it was another NBA Jam moment. He's on fire.
Clearly, there's no OSHA regulations going
No
on
OSHA
with
regulations
that.
at all in
Oh,
Thailand.
man.
But this
Whatever
is
you
clearly
want.
another part where, as I'm watching, I'm like, yeah, these guys are so happy they got to make a movie that of course they're going to throw in something like this because it's like, if you're a kid, that's exactly what you want to see.
Oh yeah.
I want a picture like Tony Jaa in the background, like he's thinking, he's like, this fight's kind of cool, but hold on, and he sketches himself in
But
the
it's a stick
air.
figure.
No, he's a really good artist. So it's like
Okay,
it's Tony
yeah, right,
Jaa, and it's like Aha, take on me. That's what it looks like. And he's sketching himself out talking to his stunt crew, and he goes, "But wait, it's not just that." And he pulls out an orange marker and scribbles on his legs, and everyone in the stunt crew goes, "Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's do that.
that we're in. We're 100% in." Did we bring a fire extinguisher? No, but we have a tub of water.
No, there's
Don't worry,
a
it rained
puddle of
last
water
night
there.
and there's this tub here.
We're good. It's fine. Are we sure it's not gas in the tub? We'll figure it out.
Ah,
It'll
we'll
be
figure it
fine.
out.
We'll find out soon enough.
As a podcast, we have to paint pictures for our listeners. So hopefully you are visualizing everything we're putting out there for you.
Oh man.
If
This is
you
the work
are,
we
we've
put
done
in.
our job right.
That's right. Hopefully just not the on the floor part. So we get to the temple fight, which again is
Hell of an
another
entrance.
epic fight. Yeah.
Hell of an entrance of like you got this camera on 3 henchmen, and then out of nowhere, Tony Jaa from the side
Just off
flying
camera.
punches
Whoa.
one.
There's
Just
so much
Superman
going on in this last fight scene.
Yeah.
I've watched it twice. I'm like, what just happened here? There's so much that goes on that
like-
I had a hard time remembering the sequence of all
He's
of
like
it.
he knocks, like everyone gets knocked out, so he's basically just going through people. Then there's like it's almost like every time he fights there's a spotlight right in the middle of the temple where he's fighting, and he'll like kick 2 dudes in sequence. Then he kicks someone through some debris, and we get the pieces he kind of holds to his
It's like
arms.
the wood pieces with handles that
like
he
the Billy
starts
Club type
cracking
thing.
people in the head.
Yeah, and I know this is first, but I instantly go, "Oh, I got to watch Protector," because that sequence is so much better in Protector. Because they did this though, so they went, "Wow, that was a really cool scene. How do we up that?"
Yeah,
and
we'll
still
make it to
kinda
where he
do
does
it?
that versus 100 people.
Yeah, and so that all works, and then he works his way to what we now realize is this giant Buddha temple. For those that don't know, Ong Bak is Buddha. That's the translation of it, basically. Don't quote me on all that stuff, but from what we've been
close enough.
told, that's essentially what it is.
Where
And
our
it's this
big bad guy is collecting his most precious
the
action
mother
figure
of
collection.
all Buddhas.
Right. And our big bad is in a wheelchair, and he's had his voice box removed because of smoking.
Do you have to jiggle them? Is that how they work? because that's what he
No.
kept doing.
I
No,
thought
he's he's got it.
He
If
just didn't know what else
you've
to
seen
do.
South Park, it's a little device you can put up to your neck that
That
will make
vibrates.
it right.
But
So-
he's shaking it though. That's what kept throwing me off. Is
Maybe he's got a little bit
like,
of Parkinson's. I don't know.
oh,
Yeah, I figured it was something like that.
I don't know.
I know. I knew the
all I
South
know is
Park.
this last scene. He stopped using it altogether, and his voice was still like this.
Yeah, he does stop using it altogether.
It's not because he's holding the Buddha head in his both hands, and he's still talking like this. So we just
I don't
like
think
threw
the
that.
dub person realized they were not supposed to be doing those lines.
No,
like that
no,
anymore.
he's holding up that voice box to him the whole time when they're in the bar.
Oh yeah, I
as
know he
they're
is.
having the fights, but in this last scene, they're like, screw it.
But that's what I'm saying. I think the voiceover person was finally they just kept doing it in that same
voice
robotic
person,
voice.
They get paid by the line, so he's like, "No, I'm gonna keep talking."
That's it.
You
Paid
can't
by the
silence
word.
me. Nobody can silence me.
That was
I'm
the one
dub man.
That was the one mistake. I'm like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, screw
Well,
it.
you're not supposed. Like, apparently, like I've been told, you're not supposed to pay attention to the nuances of this movie. You're just supposed to keep going with the fights, and then
That was the one that made me laugh. I'm like, oh, you just don't care anymore.
yeah, and then
I'm
we
all right with
get
it.
the guy that beat him in the fight. Technically, even though he threw the fight, knows he's not going to win, so he stabs himself with like 6
all of the syringes,
like
Just
12
like a
syringes into his chest.
handful, and boom! Like, I'm sorry, dude, you're not getting back up. That's a
how
heart
his heart didn't
explosion.
stop right then.
Exactly.
Yeah, just right there. It just goes.
I had a flu shot today, and my arm is killing me. If I stab myself with steroids or whatever that shit is, my heart is stopping.
Yeah, Pete just laying on the ground. Beep. He's done.
Nice knowing you guys.
Yeah, and it doesn't really help him because Tony Shaw overpowers this guy
Just
immediately.
beats the heck out of this dude.
But it is
So good.
they show it in the trailer. It is on a movie that is so outrageous with the stunts and everything. It's like, how do you cap it? How, because they're not like going to decapitate anyone. They're not using swords. How do you defeat the big bad? You jump from like 20 feet in the air and go knees first through the dude's chest, through 2 layers of scaffolding. That'll work.
So awesome.
Oh
Yeah,
my God.
Okay, here's listeners, please.
Come on.
As a man who has had 2 surgeries on one of his knees, every single one of these elbow and knees to somebody's face or midsection, it's like, ow.
Yeah.
And you're falling from a story or more, both knees into this guy. I'm like,
And you got
I'm never
tumble.
walking again. Cause ow. But that's Muay Thai. That's it's knees and elbows.
I hit
But
my
it's-
elbow on the table just right.
Yeah,
And I go down. But now he is
You're out
taking
for
a lot
you're
of
out for the
force
evening.
of an elbow to a skull, a human skull. I
Yes.
can't picture that. I'm touching my elbow right now and it hurts. Just touching it.
Hit your knee on the edge of the bed, Oh,
I
down for the count.
changed
I'm
bed
out.
frames because I got
Tears.
tired of hitting my knee on the damn
Tears.
bed frame.
Crying. I'm like, I can't do this no more.
That's why you start your notches at
kill
knee
me now.
level so that you don't hit your knee on
That's
the
what it
bed.
is.
Oh.
Charlie brought it back around, boys.
Right. So I
You're
Muay
talking to
Thai
a guy
artist,
that
I give you credit. No.
Dude, you're talking to somebody that did tile and hardwood and stuff
So
for years,
protective
man. My
of my
knees are
elbows.
garbage. And again, nothing is it's not fake in this movie, I guess we can say.
No.
It's
You
just
can't
done
fake that.
safely.
You can't fake that.
But he drops on a dude with his knees from 20 feet in the air, and it is the most
Again, not fake.
spectacular-
There might
Yeah.
be some padding down there, but that's not fake.
That's still gonna
Oh,
hurt.
It's still
I'm
gonna
sure
hurt.
dude's wearing like Nerf under the shirt or something.
But those
like,
knees aren't. I don't know.
Tony Jaw's pointy. His elbows are
pointy?
pointy. His knees are pointy.
Yeah. Those are nothing but weapons.
Exactly. The 9 weapons.
Right.
His head's one of them too. Take that
So
punch.
there's 5. Oh boy.
Yeah. Feet.
Feet,
hands,
knees, feet, hands,
elbows,
head, shoulders,
So
knees and toes, knees and
2,
toes.
4. That's 2, 4, 6, 8 in your head. I think that's
your
the
head.
9. I know where you're going, Pete. Thankfully.
That's a different movie.
We didn't have to experience.
That's Bone Bak.
Bone Bak, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the parody that somehow beat this movie to release.
Right.
I'm not even gonna. I was trying. I'm
Did somebody order an Ong Bak head with
Hey.
extra sausage?
Are you using that floor, by the way?
It's a nice floor over there.
It'd be a shame if someone made a mess on it.
That's just rude. Rude, I tell you.
You know, I'm in the
Well, no,
rope
no,
play.
Ooh, I'm sorry, everybody.
I've heard of pushing rope, but never wrapping rope.
Oh, Lord have mercy, boys. Oh, I did not expect this one to make this kind of turn.
Happy
birthday,
You invite me on a
Mr.
show, it's gonna
Nate.
go all anywhere it wants to go.
I'm not lifting my shirt up for you, Nate. That's all
I wanted a Tony Jaa to pop out of the cake.
You wanted to see what that 10th deadly weapon was.
Mhm.
Anyway, we get to the end of the movie.
I
And
want to know what it is too.
our big bad gets crushed by the thing he desires most, which is head.
As we all do.
Sorry.
I don't blame him. I mean,
Yeah.
It was big.
Oh, what a way to go.
It's the worst ways you can go.
I have to say,
it's
being
in my
crushed
dream journal.
by a boulder is pretty bad. God. Oh man. So for those of you that have made it this far, thank you. We appreciate you. Remember how I said we try to paint you pictures? I apologize for all of that right now. Nate's using a totally different brush at the moment. So, all right. So he gets the head back. He goes back to his village. We didn't neglect that did his friend die in this movie?
Yeah, Humley sacrificed himself because the man was going to smash Ong Bak's head, and he jumps on to protect himself and gets quite a big hammer hit to his back.
Yeah, he had a sledgehammer and his friend got smooshed. But the
But he jumps up again, doesn't he?
There's an alternate ending where the American ending, the Western ending, he is dead, and that's the one I saw on Tubi where they had a funeral for him. Okay, so there's a funeral for him, but there's an alternate ending where he survives, and there's not a good explanation as to why he survived. He's just shown limping, being helped around.
See, and I think I remembered that too because I think
maybe that was the DVD. Now I can't remember.
I think that's the international cut because my original watch of this movie was never dubbed. I remember it being their language and subtitles. So I always had and that comes up here in a little bit because we have a very confusing segment getting ready to happen.
Oh boy.
But I guess since we're done with the movie, right, Nate?
Yeah, that's
boys,
it. That's Ong
Bak.
Bak. A lot of people
that's Ong Bak. Yeah.
All in the name of head.
Kicks, elbows, couple of fingers to the eyes, stuff like that.
That usually doesn't happen.
We're poking fun, but it's a fantastic movie.
No. This
really
is all with love.
This is all with love.
Deep love and respect. This is.
I just knew it was going to be hard to talk about it when it was just unlike when we do our horror movies and stuff, you can go kill by kill or something like that. This has just got so much art to it that it's one of those you have to see it to believe it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like we said earlier, it's more or less a demo movie to show what we're capable of doing. So there is no yes, I'm poking at the story and I get confused in it, but I also have to stop and remember
feels
that's not was the point.
We got a chance to make this, and this will allow us to sell the next thing that we want to do, which is exactly what happened.
And that did. It worked out great for the beginning till he broke down. But all right, boys, let's get into the confusing part of this episode. Let's do body count.
Yeah.
Leave anything for us?
Just bodies. Body count. Body count. Body count. Body count.
All right, so I did some because as I was watching this movie, once I got about halfway through, I'm going, nobody's dying. So I really
Mhm.
started paying attention closer, and I really wasn't counting anyone till basically the end of the movie. So I got on All Out of Bubblegum. So if anyone ever kind of wonders if I can't find something like on YouTube or something, I go to a website called All Out of Bubblegum, and they're pretty accurate. Although this one I have to question, and I'm starting to wonder what versions of the movie they watched. They count Big Bear as dying in the bar fight
Oh,
because
really?
their explanation was no one could survive that punch to the head, and I'm like, I really think he was just knocked out.
He died of shame.
Yeah,
Well, that might be.
the other one was the fire leg head kick. So when he kicks the guy when his legs are on
Okay.
fire,
All right,
they
all right.
went, who can survive their head being kicked with fire legs? And I went, who can survive fire legs? Period. So no. They also counted the drug overdose, and I'm like, they literally said they're
Oh.
taking him to the hospital. So we're never got any
There's no
closure on
confirmation
that.
one way or the other.
No. And so they had a total of 5 listed. So they're not even listing his buddy who looks
Whoa!
like he
Now
sacrifices himself.
that is in question though, because
Right.
the American
There's
the
2
American version,
cuts.
yeah, there's 2 cuts. He definitely died because the one I saw on Tubi, they were paying homage to him
Right.
as at a funeral in the home village.
But in
And
the
from
other
what
one, he's
right,
alive.
he's alive.
So
Yes.
I don't know if maybe that almost kind of canceled it out as far as their rating. And so the only 2 that are without question are the 2 final baddies, the main henchman and the bad guy. They get crushed under the Buddha head. Because I mean, he takes his knees through the guy, and
Yeah.
while they don't show
And
him
who could
dying
survive a
from,
knee like that?
well, he's also under the Buddha head as well. The Buddha head
Oh,
fought
okay, right.
there where the
Yeah.
battle fought. So they're dead, and everyone seems to agree. So technically 2 people die in this, but there are so many asterisks, I guess, depending on the version or your definition of what a kill should be in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
I may not be getting back up from some of those elbows to the heads, but there's never like that definitive blood pouring out. And I really starting to think that because this was not filmed for American audiences, this was filmed overseas and it was made for there. I have a feeling they held back on like the kill count and only really killed the 2 real bad guys that they could probably get away with in the movie. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to call it too definitive,
Like
questionable on a
the
couple of
like from the 70s, especially the Shaw brother films, they killed like all.
I'm not saying
everybody.
they never did movies that
But
killed.
what-
I
what-
think
what-
some reason these guys decided not
Yeah,
to make
what I'm
it.
saying is in the 90s, like the Jackie Chan films, especially that I can remember, there weren't a lot of death. There was
Yeah, there was just a lot of people
in
getting
them.
knocked
He
out.
rarely used a gun in a lot of his movies, you know.
If Jackie Chan ever used a gun, I don't remember it, and he may have.
Police
I don't.
Story, I think
Oh,
he might have
oh,
used
I think you're right.
gun.
Well,
I
he
think you're right.
pulls out the gun to stop the vehicle. I remember that in Police Story.
Anyway, there's
Yeah.
very low body count as far as death is concerned.
Right.
In like contemporary martial art kung fu films, I don't think there's a lot of it, unless there's swordplay in it, and that's different.
That's different.
Yeah.
But what I think more than it, not like they were trying to get past censors, because this wouldn't have even gone up for censors.
No, I don't think it was a censor thing.
I think
No.
this was a choice
Style.
they made making
Yes,
it.
agreed.
And so let's leave that ambiguous for
Okay.
the movie. But we also need that satisfaction that we know the bad guys are dead and they're not going to come attack the
We got
village.
2 for sure with an
Two
asterisk.
definitive. There is an asterisk of all the others, and there's different stories for it.
I can't argue with that. I think that's
And that's why
fair.
I said it was a very odd kind of body count we got.
This was probably the longest body count for the lowest amount of bodies.
you have a very good point.
Screw you, Nate.
Waterworld, 5,000 people done.
360 something.
Okay, that's what it was. Right.
All right, boys. Well, not only was body count odd, we kind of have to do our kill of the week a little odd.
Well,
Due
we're
to our
adjusting that.
odd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are going with knockout of the week. Is that what we're calling it,
Knockout
gentlemen?
of the week.
But I'm still going to play my drop.
Have you ever
Please.
killed anyone?
Yeah, but they were all bad.
I should have just went knockout. They were
Yeah.
all bad. I should have done it. All right, Pete. as our guest, I know,
Thank you.
Nate, it's your birthday, but you're going to go last.
No, I want to go last.
Yeah. I'm thrilled because I'm going to hop on this right away. That first kick in the bar when everybody dropped jaw, including me watching this movie for the first time.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
like, all right, here we go. All right, I'm ready for this. Let's go. Let's get some kick-ass martial art. Holy shit.
Boom.
And done. The fight was over.
Yeah.
And that impact felt so real when he puts that foot flat to his head or shin to his head, right? Just roundhouse kicks to his head and he's done. Like, holy
out cold.
Shit, out cold.
One of the greatest knockout moments in movie history.
Right,
It was
and it was so
Duke
sudden,
all over again.
so unexpected. I mean, I'm like, I got my popcorn, my beer ready. I'm ready for a good fight and done. Like, oh, whoa, that was awesome. I'm unsatisfied and I'm so excited. This is so early on the movie because there's so much more to come.
Yeah.
There's so much more bitching moves and knockouts to come. So my favorite is by far that very first one that everyone was just went, oh,
yeah. No.
Oh, it was so good.
I think because of that, I mean, that is probably the knockout of the week. But I'm going to go with my honorary to go into more detail then. And that's going to be the elbow to Big Bear's head.
Oh, my
At
gosh.
the end of that fight. You feel like, okay, so I can almost understand why they thought he was dead.
The one where he jumps up and
he's up in the air, and that's where you're like, oh, Tony Jaw's pointy. And he takes it right into the crown, where all your bones are joined. And he goes, there's a crack. I'm going there. And boom, Big Bear down. I like that knockout. The very first impactful one is what Pete's pick is, by far, is the one of the week. Honorable mention, though, elbow to Big Bear.
Oh, for sure.
Birthday boy.
I will give one more honorable mention then, because the movie deserves nothing but honorable mentions.
You're right.
It is the in-fight with the Scalfadine, and he has a guy that is jumping at him with a hammer, I believe, and Tony Jaa jumps at him as well, and they collide in the middle where Tony Jaa knees him in the chest, and they both go falling down.
Yeah. No, yeah, that mid-air
right in
collision.
front of the Ong Bak head.
And
So killer.
Again, like Charlie said earlier, no wire fu, no CG, nothing.
Yeah.
These dudes jumped at each other, and
he
how
does
many takes was that? Oh,
it had to be a lot. And he does almost something a little similar to set you up that they didn't want it to feel supernatural, my guess is, at the final fight. He kind of does that in the bar fight with the funky hair dude when they jump at each other, both of them knee first, and
Fair.
Tony Jaa gets the just slightly more foot to him to knock him away. Then we see that final fight like Nate's talking about, and you're just like, holy shit, that just turned it to 11.
Because it's my birthday, I'm getting a second one, too.
Go for it.
Yes. There is a scene where Hum Lee gets his arm broken at the end.
Your try, Scud.
That's not, no.
Oh.
You.
It wasn't me this time.
Your try, Scud.
Am I allowed one on my birthday?
No.
Damn.
No.
Just do a fist over the U.
Just beep it out.
Yeah.
No. He did that to me. No. This ain't making it in. Start from honorary.
Because it's my birthday.
There you go.
And I get another one.
No, you do.
Get it. Do it, Nate.
His cousin gets his arm broken in the final fight,
Ooh.
which then leads Tony Jaa to destroying the man who breaks his cousin's arm and snapping his leg in half.
Yeah, that was brutal.
And it is brutal to watch.
So good.
The way they have that leg like go back.
All I can picture, because this is another good camera play, is you see him jump and just about make impact, and the camera just shows Tony Jaa in the final, and this leg pops up out screen, and all you can picture is somebody behind him with a leg going, whoo, and holding it up into the camera frame. Just
a rubber leg, yeah. So good.
Or grabbing the guy laying there's leg and just raising his leg up real quick.
I picture that Tony Jaa forgot they were making a movie for a moment and actually broke that man's leg, and they're going, "Oh no!"
I honestly, if Tony Jaa was the only one that got hurt on this movie, that's a miracle. I mean,
No
I'm
kidding.
not talking like scrapes and bruises.
No,
I'm
everyone was wearing heavy padding.
Everyone should have had a concussion by the end of this film.
Yeah, I really think so.
At
There's
minimum.
only so much padding. Just the little 3-car slow speed car chase, I think, was still so dangerous. Those cars are dangerous, man. Those things, they can't turn.
That's why they don't make 3-wheelers anymore.
No, death traps for us kids.
No
in the
kidding.
80s and 90s.
How did we live? How did we survive?
We didn't. This is all hell and purgatory, Pete. You're doing a podcast with us. All right, birthday boy. We gave you yours, so you got some extra. So those are our knockouts of the week. So that leads us to our Al Leongs.
Can we change that to just the one knockout kick?
I'm not editing all that.
No, I mean just in general. It's like, oh, here it is, one kick.
It's like 5 seconds. Deal with it.
You'll be fine. It's fine. All right, Pete. You get to go first. What's your Al Leong score for Ong Bak?
If I remember right, Leprechaun in Space was 7.
Yeah, so if you rate this lower than Leprechaun in Space, there's something wrong with you.
I'm gonna have a real hard time.
Did you go 7 on Leprechaun? I can't
think so.
remember.
I think I did.
Because I know it was.
I was
high.
with Nate, and it was so much fun, and we had
should have gotten
so
together for
much
this one.
fun. Oh my gosh! It was Leprechaun was truly, and the environment, the experience. We were just hooting and hollering and having
We
a
had
great
a blast.
time.
We
It
nailed
was
it.
clearly
This is-
skewed.
This is where we're not rating movies against other movies.
No,
This is-
never.
What do you
Never.
rate Ong
But
Bak?
but I remember rating Leprechaun in Space a 7. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is clearly way better. But I can't rate anything a 10. I'm gonna stick with an 8.5.
I was gonna say, it's like,
Yeah.
there's no
8.5.
gun. There's no gun to your head, Pete.
I'm
You just pick a
approaching.
number.
There's actually
I'm
a Tony
approaching
Jaa
a
behind you
9.
with an elbow.
I mean,
Tony
like
Jaa's right behind
this is a
him.
strong 8.5. Like, oh,
Why
one
is
more.
he holding a towel? I don't know. But so 8.5. for me.
8.5.
All
8.5.
right.
This is an everyone should watch this movie.
Yes.
I'll agree. You know, I'm not going to be far off, and it's only because there is another Tony Jaa movie that is. They took everything that they figured out in this movie and then just amplified it and had probably better budget.
Is it The Protector?
The Protector.
I gotta watch that. I have not seen it.
You
I
have
need
to see The Protector.
I will.
man.
I will
God,
make an
I
effort.
will-
for
All
sure.
right, you and I are getting together, and we are watching The Protector.
Let's go,
Do
baby.
it.
That is happening.
Let's go.
I know what I would rate The Protector, so I'm going to put Ong Bak at an 8.
Okay.
Great score. Love it. If anything, and I hate to even do it, but you have to. The story's non-existent in this movie.
There's no story.
There's some things where it's like, and you can't even give me a clear body count sometimes, but that's fine. But the movie's fantastic. It started an entire new genre of martial arts that no one even knew was expected. And we thought we'd seen it all. They really come to a point we'd seen everything martial art wise. This one kind of broke the mold again, and this is even without guns. Just no gung fu or anything in this. So yeah, it's a fantastic movie. Birthday boy,
Do it,
you
Nate.
picked it.
Let's hear it.
I'm right there with Pete, an 8.5.
Solid.
I-
We're all
it's
within
not- I-
0.5
I-
of each other. That doesn't happen very often.
I don't.
No.
I think that's a testament to this film. Go
It is.
watch this movie.
It's
period.
a little slow in the beginning, and that's really
Sure,
its only
you're
hindrance
building,
compared
you're
to like
introducing characters. Yeah.
The Protector is like right out the gate.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, okay, I totally need to see
The
this.
Protector uses the first part of the movie to explain what is getting ready to happen, and they tell the story as the action is happening as the movie progresses.
Yeah.
It is fantastic, and I don't even want to tell you the premise of it, Pete.
No,
If
I
you
don't want to
haven't
hear
even
nothing about
seen
it. I don't want any trailers.
This
No
is
spoilers.
this is one of those. Go to Nate's, have him pop it in the DVD player, and watch it with nothing around you to.
Do I have to?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to.
Nate will give me one beer.
Oh, you can have a beer.
No, we'll have more beers because we'll do it on like a Friday night.
I'm saying with nothing around like, oh, I saw a picture or I read this little review about it. Nothing. Go into it as blind as you can.
I know nothing about this movie except Tony Jaa's in it. I'm down. That's all I need.
Perfect. That Nate, you guys are in.
That's
for
my
a treat.
favorite
I'm
way
excited.
to go into a movie that I need to see.
Yeah.
But this movie, like, I picked it because it made such an impact on me as a kid.
Sure.
As a teenager.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? This is one of those movies that stands out to me just like the first time I saw The Raid.
Yeah. No,
You know?
you're right. Yeah.
Like the very first time I saw The Raid, this is a movie where the bar has been elevated. That's the best way I can put it. And then when I saw The Raid, the bar has now been elevated again. And then I saw Mad Max Fury Road, and the bar has been elevated again. Like, it's just one of those things of, like, getting to actually witness that next step of growing up with Jackie Chan and Jet Li movies and Bruce Lee movies, but then seeing, like, holy shit, this is where we're at now? Like, this is the content we're going to be getting in the future? This is incredible. And I want to say it was, like, the next year is when Jet Li released Unleashed, which that one, not only does that have, like, amazing fights, but a beautiful story to go along with it.
We're gonna cover that movie. It may not be this year.
You have me for that one. I'm interested. I haven't seen that Jet Li. Like,
oh really?
Like Hero is one of my favorite films.
Oh, I love Hero.
Martial arts.
Hero.
I love Hero.
And
Kiss
Crouch
of
and
the
Dragon.
Dragon.
Also, I love the end of Crouch and Dragon. Just broke my heart. Like, what do you mean? He dies. Stop that.
Nate, you're on it. Unleashed is 2005.
Yeah. So, like,
yeah.
This was just an impactful moment for me. So when it came to birthday month, it was just like, man, I really want to do something that has meant a lot to me over the years. A movie that I had shown to many people, like, oh, you got to see this.
You don't have to wait for your birthday to do this stuff. Like, we just did Brain Scan. That's a movie that meant a ton to me. So, Pete did Thirst. I mean, he makes love to that movie every night before bed.
Oh, it makes love to me, baby.
It means so much to him. Doesn't even make it to the floor. But it's... So don't think you have to wait for your birthday to bring something that means something to you on the channel. It's fun to hold one off going, oh, wait till my birthday.
No, it was one of those I wanted to hold it off. And, like,
wait till my birthday.
I
in
was
January.
leaning towards nothing but, the Asian cinema. That was like what I wanted to do this year. Was which one am I going to pick?
You've always been a proponent for that. We did the Chinese Connection movie. We've touched on a lot of those. You are the martial arts guy. We've established that from the get-go, and the more you can even introduce us to, start getting something that I haven't seen. But again, because of Ong Bak, and really in the 2000s was when I really latched on to the martial arts movies, where I have seen all of the the newer Jet Li movies and things like that.
Filming technology it just got better and better. So that's what allowed us to see better stunt work happening. And that's where it leads to, like, John Wick, where that's a movie made by nothing but stuntmen. And it has me going, keep giving stuntmen directing films, because Day Shift that just came out, made by stuntmen.
I love that movie so much. That movie was fantastic.
So it's
if you haven't watched Day Shift, go watch Day Shift.
Stuntmen have to go and set up the entire scene. They choreograph it. They decide what angles it's going to be at. So when you put them in charge of an entire movie to direct and write, it's like, obviously you're going to get top tier. It just makes sense.
For so long been the unsung heroes of cinema. Even in movies that maybe aren't completely action movies, there's usually stunt people involved somewhere. Anything that's slightly dangerous to the actors, there are stunt people involved. I'm going to tell you a movie that as soon as it hits DVD, we might even cover it. I don't know. But I went and watched Bullet Train, with Brad Pitt and Aaron Taylor Thomas. Again, a movie by us. They're the people that did Nobody. They're a stunt production company that have really upped their game. I adored that movie. I
Great.
really did.
That's high praise.
We may have to cover that when it releases.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah,
I'm down. I'm down with that.
So we got a bunch of praise, Nate, but you got to bring us down on your own birthday, man.
I do.
Don't do it.
Hold on.
I know.
Let me find
this comes from Spalletti.
I got a drop. I got. Hold on. I got to play a drop.
You do.
Is Spalletti a frequent jackass on this show?
No, it's just because I wrote about Ong Bak.
Okay.
Which one am I going to play, Nate? Huh? What, are you going to throw a temper tantrum again?
Don't you do it. It's my birthday.
Are you going to throw a temper
I'm
tantrum?
the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring. And then I start eating garbage. And then I pick up the trash can and I bash the guy on the head.
Oh, that's going to be a disaster.
I played the right one.
All right. Now, this officially comes from Spalletti on June 23rd, 2004.
Okay, yeah. So
he said,
right on.
awful. Well, more than awful. I can't put into words how terrible this movie is in terms of the story. It's awful.
Come on.
Plain awful. It has a terrible plot. One in which would be better if watched without English subtitles, at least. I can imagine the story be better. Winky face. It's like a bad version of Karate Kid or something. Cheesy as hell. Can someone explain why they're in the underground area in Thailand and there are 3 white 18-year-old skateboarders in the crowd? I'm a white male myself, and it just took the entire movie out of the context for me.
Oh really?
The
Yeah, 'cause
fighting
we're not
and
allowed
stunts
there.
truly are great and nice to watch, but there are only a handful. It reminds me of those old porn movies they played late at night where the same scene would loop for 5 minutes. I felt like I was watching the same scene over and over. The
had
only
watched the wrong
difference
porn.
is the enemy had on different clothing. I have mentioned the fighting scenes to a few friends,
There's
but I've
alien
also made
porn?
sure to point out the weak storyline right after. I paid $5 Canadian for my DVD, and I gave it away. It was just that bad. I own close to 350 DVDs. Only about 20 can be found in Blockbuster. I have more than enough kung fu, samurai, and Asian cinema. I don't need this fodder in my collection. Terrible review. Probably one of the worst ones we have ever featured on the show.
I hate.
I
this
bet his
segment so
DVD
much.
room floor is so sticky.
From the same 5 minutes.
I spent 5 Canadian. What? Get out.
That's like 8 American.
Yeah.
If
Get
that.
out. Nate paid 10. We have
Yeah.
proof.
He's not-
That's
Inflation, I pretty much paid 20.
He's not wrong with the thin storyline. We
Not at all.
covered that.
we talked about it. But that I don't
But
let
you don't
that
care
judge
about
the
that.
movie.
But I don't
That's-
care about it.
That
And
wasn't
to
the
say
point
that the
of the
stunt
movie.
He's
work,
offended us.
There was only there.
Truly.
Oh,
I am
wait,
offended.
do you have his address? I want to go.
Right.
I want to look him up.
Time
Yeah.
to go in Jay and Silent Bob this guy.
I have friends in Canada.
I want to see his
Find this
collection.
guy. We're gonna find this guy.
I'm like
Oh,
300,
my God.
3,000. What I would say 300.
Well, it's
CDs?
350 back in
said-
2004, so it might
He
have
said
increased.
300, and Blockbuster only has 20 of what I have.
They're
Pete.
all Adam Sandler movies or some shit like that.
Probably. They're all bootlegs.
Now,
That's-
I do have not a recommendation, but shortly after I think this movie came out, or maybe after The Protector, you know how companies will go and find like the early stuff of a filmmaker and release it again,
Yeah.
like,
Sure.
package it up with new artwork.
Mhm.
They did a movie called Spirited Killer back in 1994. So it was Tony Jaw's Sensei and Tony Jaw.
Mhm.
And like the
Not-
package looked really cool. It had like the rope headband over him and like a kung fu fighting. I remember buying that because it was like $10. I was like, holy shit! Like this is the first Tony Jaa movie, but now it's getting a States release because of the success of the other ones. It's one of the most boring piece of shit films I think I've ever seen, and there's nothing redeemable about it. I don't own it anymore. I remember like moving and just like cleaning out my collection and stuff. It's bad. It's really bad. It's about like I guess a ghost killer in the Thailand woods, which sounds cool, but it is so boring. But it's one of those, if you ever look up Spirited Killer, you'll look up like a really cool cover.
It's like you just said keywords to Pete that made him go, "Oh." Hold on.
Yeah, it was keywords to me.
Ghost Forest.
Pete's floor sticky. But it's all right. Nate, why'd you have to? You don't end a great show on a downer note, man. You should have
No, I
left
just
it
wanted to
with,
let everyone know to avoid Spirited Killer.
with
Fair.
Canadian skivvies, dude. I don't know. But all right, everybody. Thanks for checking out this latest birthday episode.
Can I reveal what my horror birthday is?
No.
Oh.
No.
I want to get everyone hyped up.
No.
It's my month. I want everyone to be excited with me.
Oh, I'm excited. I don't even know what it is. Or do I
Right.
know what it is?
You do know.
You
have
should
the
know what it is.
list.
Oh, I have the list. That's
I
right.
sent you the list.
I've had a couple of beverages. I don't
It's
remember.
fine. You can have a couple beverages, but no, you don't get to spoil anything. You don't get to shake your birthday presents, Nate.
No,
I want to
for
see
the audience.
I want to see Nate shake his birthday present.
Yeah.
Come on,
In
we're on
my
camera.
suit.
Let's go.
Another notch in the bedpost, Pete. All right, boy, we're done. I'm ending this thing, guys. So yeah, this is Nate's birthday month. So the next one will be a horror one. That is his pick. And I think technically those are really the only ones you picked out for your birthday. We'll have some other September ones.
Yep.
Also, we are closing in on the official 1-year anniversary for Give Me Back My Horror Movies, which is right at the tail end of September. Don't know if we're going to do anything special. We may just say, hey, we made it. And then that's it.
Hooray.
The bigger celebration is that Pete made it
We
onto
did
the
it.
action show. Pete
He
is
did.
here.
And Nate's here. And Charlie's
yeah,
here.
we're here. We're having fun. We're talking about some awesome movies and just having a really good time. And we want to thank everyone. We've broke 5,000 downloads.
Thank
and it's
you
only
all.
because of
That's
our
amazing.
listeners. You guys are sharing
That is
some stuff
impressive.
out. It is. And upon hearing this one, I think based on the release, you would have heard an amazing interview Nate and I just did the other night. As of this recording, our little commercial in the middle of this episode is a clue, little throwback to who we interviewed. So hopefully you guys checked all that out and check those guys over on their YouTube channel. All the links are on that video. So, and again, always please go check out everyone in the Give Me Back My Podcast network. We have Give Me Back My Pro Wrestling, Good Beer, Bad Movie Night. You heard the commercial.
Hey.
You hear the man. He is
That's me.
here in studio and his own studio on video. We also have the Monster Movie Stomp Down with their triumphant return from vacation
have
here
returned.
soon. Stompy and Frank are running amok again, and I'm here for it. We also have I Know You Hear Me, which, from what I understand, has consumed Tales from the Haunt, and they're now
Oh.
a single show.
Interesting.
really?
Kind of like what we do. So
Yeah,
they're going to
okay.
have
All right.
the I Know You Hear Me interviews,
makes sense.
and then the other week will be
Sure.
the Tales from the Haunt. So no longer two separate channels. One
I'm really
channel
looking
to find
forward to
everything.
Tales from the Haunt because the spooky season is coming up.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I think that's what they're trying to do is
Yeah,
get through
yeah.
what they have, so that
Mhm.
because they're going to be busy. They're both scare actors. They're both super busy, so they're probably going to put a bunch of the new stuff in a can when they run through their original season of Tales from the Haunt. Now they'll start their new stuff up. So looking forward to hearing everything they got over there with Flynn Hendricks and just Jeff. Also, you can find Nate and myself over on Facebook at Give Me Back My Action, Give Me Back My Horror groups. Instagram, same thing with the action and horror. We are on TikTok. I am on Twitter. We are on YouTube and just did a live stream. By the time you hear this, a couple weeks ago, where we reviewed Samaritan, still Sylvester Stallone's entry into the superhero genre. Yes, I know what I said. It is. Go watch the video and you'll understand why.
It is a movie. That
It is a
fact.
movie.
It's
It
a movie
exists
that came out on Amazon.
that you can watch if you so please.
Yep. Well, no spoilers. Go check it out, and there are spoilers in it. So yeah, watch the movie first, guys. Is there anything else? Birthday boy, you got anything
I
you want
just
to
wanna
end this
thank
on?
all the listeners for sticking with us for so long.
Absolutely,
It's incredible always to see the map light up. Not knowing anyone in California, but still seeing that we have California listeners. Seeing that
We know
have
some people in California. Don't say that.
Nice.
I don't know. Oh, I guess we do now, don't we?
Yeah, we
Yep,
do know
we
some
do.
people in
Yep.
California. Stop it.
Well, it's just having this podcast and making new friends and meeting new
Hmm.
people that you never expected to. But I
Absolutely.
definitely do not know anyone in Texas. But we
Yeah,
got
you do.
listeners from Texas. I
I know
do.
people
Yeah,
in
you do.
Texas. They might be holdovers.
Ruben's from Texas, isn't he?
Yes.
Ruben is
Okay.
from Texas.
You want
Arizona?
You want to
Do
throw?
we not know anyone from Arizona?
A
I know
dart.
someone from Arizona.
But I don't.
Nope. Yeah, you do. Oh,
Well, either way, it's really cool. So,
No,
That's very cool.
that was Nevada. That wasn't Arizona. Las Vegas is in Nevada, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we knew some Arizona adjacent.
Arizona adjacent.
And you can't say New Mexico because I spent the first 3 years of my life in New Mexico, so
Ah,
technically
very
that
good.
counts.
So technically, you do know.
You want to throw another dart?
Well, I don't know anyone from France.
We did get a listener
We got
from
people
France.
from France, Nigeria,
awesome.
Brazil. It's always cool to see you pop up. Maybe you're just using a VPN and you're in Ohio. I don't know.
No judgment here, as long as you're listening. That
Yep.
doesn't.
Hey, just seriously, thank you so much for all the listens. Thank you for the feedback, any of the comments
right.
that you've made. And I can't wait for what else we're going to be doing down the road.
Still got a lot, man. We're not stopping anytime soon.
Got
Keep
Halloween
going.
upon us, so we got a lot of spooky stuff coming
we got
up.
spooky stuff coming, and I know we said it, but Pete's sitting here, so please go check out Good Beer Bad Movie Night if you hadn't already. Fantastic content. Not always a bad movie, not always a good beer, but it's always good content and a good time. So, Nate, get us out of here with the good word, brother.
Knives for sale.
Oh,
Knives for sale.
I forgot about that.
Oh, that was the best joke of the whole movie.
So good.
Pete, don't take a drink when I say something like that. But it's when you get the head back.
Head. It goes back.
Thumbs up. Doesn't work on an audio podcast, Pete.
I know.
There's our outtake at the end, gentlemen.